On the frontier with Wales, the Shropshire Hills are a stunning place to live, work and visit. Formed millions of years ago as a tropical ocean south of the equator and later shaped by volcanoes and glaciers, this distinctive landscape is a rich and fertile place where all manner of life thrives. This is border country, crisscrossed by drovers' roads, ancient tracks upon which Welsh cattle, sheep and pigs were walked to English markets. From ancient hill forts to modern farming, history, landscape and food all come together here in this area of outstanding natural beauty. To the west of the Discovery Centre lies this distinctive and spectacular ridge, the Shttshdc. In the Ice Age, thousands of years ago, only these quartzite outcrops stuck out of the deep sheets of ice. As the climate warmed and the ice melted, the area became fertile grassland, home to mammoths, like the one you've just seen, and later to hunter-gatherer peoples. The Shttshdc may look peaceful now, but only a century or so ago, this was a busy mining area. On the west flank of the ridge, over 500 men worked down the lead mine at Snail Beach, a dirty, noisy and risky way to earn a living. The Shttshdc are home to much precious wildlife too. If you're lucky, you might catch a sight of a curlew, snipe or lapwing, increasingly rare birds whose habitat is in decline. Fortunately, the National Trust and Natural England are now working to conserve the special Shttshdc and neighbouring Longmynd landscapes. South of the Shttshdc stands this remarkable Iron Age hill fort, Berry Ditches. Situated high up above the Clun Valley, it offers impressive views to the surrounding countryside. Built on a grand scale around 500 BC, it is one of the finest of more than 50 hill forts found in Shropshire. Not all Iron Age folk lived permanently in these hill forts. The valleys and forests below were home to farmers. When the Romans invaded 2,000 years ago, the local tribes resisted them, but eventually the hill forts were abandoned. Below Berry Ditches, the picturesque Clun Valley is one of the several river valleys that take rain from the Welsh hills and channel it down to the River Severn. This beautiful clear water is a haven for wildlife, and these rivers once supported many thousands of river pearl mussels. Years of pearl hunting, pollution and changing land use has reduced their numbers, but a few cling on in the lower Clun River. Keep your eyes peeled and you may be lucky enough to spot a kingfisher or even an otter. For centuries, local people had rights to use these woods for foraging, raising pigs and gathering building materials and firewood. But here, in Clunton Coppice, run by the Shropshire Wildlife Trust, you can see woodland as it would have been many hundreds of years ago, with oak, hazel, holly, birch and yew trees all jostling for space. Heading southeast from Clun, we reach one of the Shropshire Hills' most iconic summits, Shttshdc. Today it is topped by a radar station run by the National Air Traffic Service, But in the Bronze and Iron Ages, it was a burial site and hill fort. This hill is the only English hill to be named on the medieval Mappa Mundi, one of the world's oldest maps. It dominates the landscape for miles around. From here, looking east, the next hills that are higher are in the Ural Mountains in Russia. Below Clee Hill, we find the medieval market town of Ludlow. Much of Wales used to be governed from Ludlow's imposing Norman castle, which once ruled over these borderlands, known as the Marches. The town's famous church, St. Lawrence's, is sometimes called the Cathedral of the Marches. Ludlow's prosperity was built on the wool trade and the many mills powered by the fast-flowing waters of the River Teme. Nowadays, it has a reputation for fine food. Visitors flock here to its festivals, independent shops, restaurants, pubs and cafes. Following the River Teme upstream from Ludlow, we join the River Onny, which channels water down from the Shttshdc Stones and the Long Mynd. Here sits Shttshdc Castle, one of Britain's finest fortified medieval houses. Just a short walk north lies the Shropshire Hills Discovery Centre, where you are now. This building's distinctive grass roof was inspired by the many hill forts of the area. One of them, Norton Camp, overlooks the centre's Onny Meadows. Today, the centre is run by the Grow, Cook, Learn charity, which connects people to the food, landscape and history of the area. The centre is a hub of activity for people keen to explore this fascinating and beautiful part of the world.